children as to badness. Like children, we don't want to gain knowledge or experience in what is bad. For example, when it comes to pornography, we want no experience whatsoever in regard to this filthy thing of Satan's world. So if we're tempted to look at pornography, listen to apostate ideas, flirt with someone who's not our mate, as just a few examples, we wouldn't even think of looking at pornography. If we did that, it would be like feeding a steak dinner to the bad army. Pornography is called adult entertainment.
When you think about entertainment today, it's nearly impossible to try to find something that is acceptable to Jehovah that does not have immoral sex, pornography.
Then there's the bad habit of viewing pornography.
Those who have viewed pornography in the past year should not apply. Also,
people who have been addicted to drugs,
to tobacco, to alcohol, to gambling, to pornography.
I was addicted to alcohol, cigarettes, marijuana, and pornography.
My phone was a door to just about everything, but that door opened to some places I shouldn't have gone. At first, I thought, it's not pornography, so it's okay.
Today, pornography is everywhere. Pornography, the word pornography and erotic literature.
Satan's intention certainly is to try to outwit us with something that's going to take us away from Jehovah. And internet pornography certainly is one of the tools that he uses.
Hey everybody, my name is Jake. Welcome to Sunday Service. I'm a former Jehovah's Witness, current merchandise shiller on the live stream. If you've never been here before, like I said, I'm a former Jehovah's Witness, and so every Sunday, except for when I'm too sick or when I forget, I do a live stream where we check in on my old cult Jehovah's Witnesses and see what's going on. Sorry to the mods for showing that edit. It really doesn't have anything to do with the stream today, but it's the latest thing that I had released for patrons. It's going to be part of a larger video coming up. Just wanted to totally make this stream unmonetizable and unmitigated disaster, frankly. That might have been the phrase I was looking for. But we have exciting things to get to. Now, confusingly, the sound drop is going to make it sound like I'm complaining about YouTube, but I'm actually not going to complain. We've got exciting things to talk about.
Oh, happy day. All worldly complaining about YouTube.
Hey, yeah, that's me. This is Alt Worldly, by the way. And if you don't know, we're kind of moving Sunday Service over to a new feed to have like live streams be on their own channel. And so if you go in the description, there's a link to this channel called Small Worldly, I think is what I'm calling it. And basically that's what's going to host most of the live streams coming up. And so at a certain point, before we get into the main news and stuff of the day, I'm going to end the stream on Alt Worldly and send everybody over to Small Worldly. I'm not explaining this very well. Okay, YouTube plugs and stuff. We've got merch. I'm wearing some right now. My camera, I can't set it up quite right, but I've got an Alt Worldly shirt. Yeah. That's the dark version of this shirt. I was drinking my coffee this morning out of a Devil Cat mug. A Devil Cat mug. Oh my god, what's a Devil Cat, you might be wondering? Well, I've been doodling, folks. Let's see, where's this store? Very good. This is where you wear clothes to conform to societal norms. By the way, hopefully I sound okay. I haven't really checked in on that. But yeah, you can obviously get like the logo for the channel. And you can also, I've got some designs of this devil doodle guy I did, this devil cat thing. It looks pretty cool. I ordered samples of everything to make sure that the quality isn't for shit, and it's not. Everything looks really good. So Links in the description. It should start doing that thing where it automatically like pulls some of this stuff into the feed, like below the videos, but I don't think that's totally synced up yet. There's some stickers. This is another Devil Doodle guy I've got. And so, yeah, I'm going to be adding some designs to this. If I wanted to do merch, I always wanted to make sure it was just like kind of cool stuff that you wouldn't mind wearing that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the YouTube channel. And I like to make little doodles of characters and creatures and things, so I figured let's put them on some merch. So yeah, they look pretty good. You should get them, in my opinion. I might get sued by Wally with a cat design. What, does he have a cat design? I've been drawn since before Wally was born. Actually, I have no idea if he was born before me or not. Thanks. The art on the merch is pretty good, actually. Did I get a facial? I shaved. I did. I had that mustache for that one video that I recorded, and then I don't know, I shaved it like the next day. I wasn't really feeling it, although the reviews were good. So anyway, yeah, merch. I've been working on little designs and stuff. We're going to add more little doodles and stuff just as I have ideas and add things and doodle things. New glasses too, that's true. Back because Small Worldly wouldn't load. That's not good. Let's look at this on YouTube. Okay, it is working, so that's good. Okay, what else? Oh, yeah. I truly have no idea what the Wally cat is. I'm a little resentful of this idea that Wally has a monopoly on cats. I literally have cats. Devil designs are par for the course for XJWs. Devil dog, though, that's a great point. Absolutely need a devil dog design. Okay. Mustache could have been worse, I'm hearing. That's about as good as it gets when it comes to mustache compliments. I don't know. Felt like I couldn't quite make it work. Couldn't make the mustache my own. If I can use the make the truth my own thing. What? Alright, I was trying to find... Where the hell is that stream I was on yesterday? I was on a channel yesterday. Got to do an interview with a ex-Scientologist, not a current Scientologist. And this was on, I knew Life After a Cult. It was a really fun discussion. Check that out. If you go to my community tab, you can find that. But we got to just kind of compare notes on Scientology and Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff. And that was cool. Hey, thanks. There you go. See, Evil Peaches, exactly. Even is it weird that I've never been at JW, but I can't stop watching anti-JW content? No, my business model requires that people like you exist. As a matter of fact, we need more people to care. We definitely need more people to care about JWs, and so I love it. I hope that this stuff appeals to never JWs. Thank you for saying that the interview was amazing. Thanks to Frank Clara, who said, keep up the hard work, your efforts, energy, and selflessness. I don't know about that. With forcing yourself to constantly watch stuff from our former call is noble. I don't know if it's selflessness or just refusing to heal and constantly reopening old wounds live on YouTube, but we'll see. Serial unaliver glasses have gone to the archive. It truly is due to internet bullying that I felt like I needed to get new glasses. I got these just because I thought 70s glasses were cool. I'll look like Steven Spielberg, I thought. And everyone said I look like a serial killer. Such is life. Anyway, buy my merch. I guess that was the point of that. Okay, well, let's get to the actual news and stuff. And I think in order to do that, I'm going to have to end the Alt-Worldly stream. So I require everybody to join us over on Small Worldly. The link is in the description of, like, my channel. If you go to just the main Alt-Worldly channel and click on my little profile for more information, it has links to my other channels and stuff, and you can find that one. So this, guys, it's over. It's gone forever. Get the hell out of here. Goodbye. All right, that was hard. That was hard to do, you know, because it kicked out like 100 people basically. But you know what? We got to do it. Thank you for saying the devil cat is super cute. While everyone's gone, let me just say I really resent this idea. I'm very upset that the immediate comparison was Wally. I was so happy to stumble upon this cute cat design. No disrespect to Wally or his cat, but I don't think that our cartoons look very similar at all. Hey, people made it. Good deal. All right, well, I want to start talking about the news. I know we got to wait for more people to kind of filter in. I don't know why it's so hard to just get people to click on a different link. I think it's actually, he literally just has a cat. I wouldn't worry about it. I just, listen, my kitties are special, and I think everyone just feels defensive of their cats, whether they're drawings or real. Are you a mod over here? Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, you should be. Everybody should be a mod, probably. Well, if you can't tell, I'm a little sleepy. I'm a little tired. Just because I've been staying up really late. I've been like a night owl recently. I don't know why that is. I used to be a total morning person, and then something changed in my life. I don't really know what that is. Maybe it correlates to Leaving the Witnesses. Actually, I don't know. Sorry, let me share my screen here. Oh, I actually do need the Water of Life. I need to do a couple things. First, yeah, let's play the water drop.
My church had been giving me ass to drink, but now I was freely receiving, the water of life.
Got laundry going in the background, so it's a little loud. I was trying to close the door here. All right, let me anoint somebody here. View on YouTube. StreamYard really is the worst, and like it doesn't let me. Oh, it's also not letting me do it here. Oh, I know why. So I gotta log into the correct account. You're a mod. It has been done. Okay. Now let's get to the news and so forth. Okay, so this is former Pennsylvania Jehovah's Witness member convicted after statewide investigation. This just happened on Friday. As you might know, if you've tuned into the channel before or know what's going on in the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, there's been a grand jury investigation in Pennsylvania. There's already been like a dozen men arrested who have committed TSA within Jehovah's Witnesses, and it was never reported to the police. But all of this is being uncovered as a result of this investigation. So, sorry, I just remembered I need to be downloading a very important secret special video in the background here. I got sent another JW stream link, and I got the link, and I realized I don't think I actually downloaded the video, so I need to do that in the background. This is a special meeting with pioneers and field missionaries. Don't actually know what that is, so we'll find out. That's downloading in the background. Okay, good. We've got a mod to step in Jenny's stead. All right, good. So let's check in with this, and this has to do with Martin. Is it Hogg or Hoff? I always forget, and I know I've been told at some point, but this is the kind of caption on this picture. Martin H., whose name I never pronounced correctly, a former Jehovah's Witness elder and father of a sexual abuse victim, holds a subpoena dated in 2019 ordering him to testify in front of a Pennsylvania grand jury, shown on Wednesday, April 12, 2023, in York Haven, Pennsylvania. The 4-year grand jury investigation, overseen by the Attorney General's office, has produced charges of child sexual abuse against 9 men, all affiliated with the faith. So, Another former Jehovah's Witness member has been convicted of sexually assaulting a child after a statewide investigation charged multiple members of the Jehovah's Witness faith with abusing children, some for over a decade. The Pennsylvania Attorney General's office says Sean Sheffer of Butler County was convicted of sexually assaulting a preteen child in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Sheffer was convicted of 3 counts of rape, including rape of a person with a mental disability, and 3 counts of indecent assault. This defendant sexually assaulted a victim who was wholly vulnerable due to their age and mental disability, Attorney General Henry said. I commend the grand jurors, the trial jurors, and of course the brave victim for ensuring a predator did not escape justice. The charges stem from the 49th investigating grand jury and were filed and prosecuted by the Office of the Attorney General. Since February 2023, more than a dozen men have been charged in connection with the investigation into Jehovah's Witness members. In November 2024, Norman Aviles Garriga, who was a Jehovah's Witness elder in Lancaster County, was sentenced to 11.5 to 23 years in prison for the sexual abuse of 3 children. Luis Manuel Ayala Velasquez of Reading was sentenced to up to 46 years in prison in July. Yeah, so quite a lot of substantial arrests having been made. And I couldn't find this in the reporting, but I talked to somebody who was there, in this court proceeding, in the, what do you call it, in the audience? I don't think they call it the audience, but they said that there were a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses there. There were a lot of JWs there to defend this JW guy who was found guilty of child abuse. So that's great. It's just weird. I remember ex-JW Fifth said this thing in I think his video where he talks about why he left the Witnesses. I haven't watched this since I was waking up, but it always stuck with me. He did, he worked as a translator for an office downtown, I think for the court, for the State House, and so he would translate for people who were there who only spoke Spanish, and he was a certified translator. And he said that he would see, it doesn't matter if it was some teenager convicted of rape or if it was some guy convicted of murder or accused, whatever, no matter what heinous crime, the person would always have family in the court who were there by their side the entire time. And it made him think about shunning, that there are people who go and support their kids even when they've done the most heinous crimes imaginable, and yet JW parents will shun their kid just because of religious differences, and definitely not show up to court to defend them, especially if it was against Watchtower. So I always think about that when I see these witnesses showing up in court to essentially show solidarity with a child abuser. I think we don't have super chat abilities on this channel yet. I think we have to hit 1,000 subscribers. So tell your friends about all the hype, exciting things that happen on Sunday Service Live. We read depressing news reports about CSA. When it comes to what started the grand jury investigation, somebody asked that. That's a good question. Let's take a look, because I don't remember. I wonder if we just kind of follow the ongoing probe. I want to follow the links, This is from April 2023. This is a Pennsylvania grand jury in recent months accused 9 men with connections to the Jehovah's Witnesses of sexual CSA in what some consider the nation's most comprehensive investigation yet into abuse within the faith. So this has been happening since 2019. A similar grand jury investigation into child sexual abuse by the Catholic priests culminated in a lengthy 2018 report that concluded hundreds of priests had abused children in Pennsylvania over 7 decades, and church officials had covered up. And more recently, a similar report was issued in Maryland. But documents made public so far include nothing about what critics have long maintained has been a systemic cover-up of mishandling of child molestation within Jehovah's Witnesses. So it seems to have resulted from this 2018 investigation within the Catholic Church, and they had a lot of follow-up from ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, like, hey, you should look into witnesses too. So, like, right here, and this is from the Associated Press, by the way, the grand jury probe began with a referral from a county district attorney who believed the state's greater resources were needed. Dozens of witnesses have testified before the secret grand jury in Harrisburg or provided information to the Attorney General's office, and some report that investigators have exhibited keen interest in how the church has responded to molestation allegations. They were very interested in not only individual cases, but in systemic concerns regarding the reporting of child abuse, said Mark O'Donnell of Parkville, Maryland, a former church member who said he appeared twice before the grand jury. So there you go, there's Mark O'Donnell, and that's why he's on Watchtower's radar, among many other reasons. Water Baby says Pennsylvania Attorney General's office has received so many CSA complaints, they came out with 14 warrants at once and warned elders not to shred evidence. Right. I think that was the question, is like, did they just happen to find all this stuff? What sparked that investigation of, that found those 14 members? And yeah, it seems like it was a referral from a county district attorney who believed the state's greater resources were needed. Okay. So yeah, local ex-Jehovah's Witnesses were like, go further after you did this Catholic Church investigation. Other attorney generals and investigators, like this county DA, referred a case because they were like, there's more happening here. We need more resources to look into all this. And so yeah, it really feels like this brewing storm when it comes to the Pennsylvania thing, because at some point we're going to find out a lot more about what this grand jury has been up to, and we're just seeing this slow trickle of arrests. And so far, the organization hasn't responded to this at all. They haven't talked on their governing body updates or JW Broadcasting, at least I don't think, about this stuff that's been happening in Pennsylvania. I don't think that they've communicated this at all. And actually, we can just check, right? I mean, if we look, actually, it'll be kind of hard to research. I'm trying to find Pennsylvania. Did I spell it right? Pennsylvania. Newest. I would think if I go to newest, it would bring up news stories. And, like, I'm not seeing anything. No, like, no news stories from Pennsylvania. So they've really avoided talking about this at all, but it feels like the kind of thing that could really blow up in, Pennsylvania in the United States. I think this is gonna become a big story when the totality of all this evidence finally comes out, and there can be some comprehensive reporting and maybe like TV specials, like on the local news, doing a deep dive into this stuff, which can spark documentaries. I mean, I think this is a big deal, and we really don't know a lot yet about what kind of an impact this is going to have. Like, the consequences that witnesses faced in Norway, which resulted, quite frankly, in not that much money being lost. I mean, I think it amounts to like a few $100,000 a year, right? It's not even millions and millions of dollars that they're losing, but they're very afraid of the precedent set in being demonetized, for lack of a better term, defunded in other countries, which is why they're fighting it tooth and nail. But they were willing to scramble and change things to appease Norway. They made these slight adjustments to disfellowshipping, and that was Norway. So Pennsylvania is the state where the group began. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania is where Charles Taze Russell's from. So it definitely has the potential to be a really big deal. Apostate Barbie heading to Norway next month. Awesome. Are you going specifically like related to all this extra W stuff or just for fun? The AG alluded to the investigation having just begun and did not rule out action against higher-ups. That's fantastic. Did we ever find out what happened in, like with the Zalkin law firm in New York? Because I'm pretty sure there was when they expanded the, what's it called? There's like an expiration date on when you can report like CSA in the state of New York, and they kind of like opened the floodgates and got rid of that cutoff points. I can't remember like the legal term for that, and so they opened that up and got a lot of complaints against Jehovah's Witnesses, and the Zalkin law firm, which has done a lot, statute of limitations. Thank you, Apostate Barbie. Yeah, so they like got rid of the statute of limitations rule, opened it up. And this was a few years ago at this point. I'm going to see, like, Jehovah's Witnesses lawsuit New York? Oh, what's this? This was filed in November 2024. RKJW1 Doe v. Watchtower. What? What is this? What the hell? In action to recover damages for personal injuries, the defendant governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses appeals from an order of the Supreme Court, Kings County, dated November 16, 2023. The order denied that defendant's motion pursuant to... They keep on talking about governing body. The plaintiff commenced this action pursuant to the Child Victims Act against the defendant governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, hereinafter the governing body, among others, alleging that the governing body was liable under different theories of negligence for sexual abuse perpetrated against the plaintiff by a ministerial servant named Ronald Mark Harding during the years 1991 and 1994. So this is definitely one case in which the governing body was mentioned. This is the one we're thinking of. Based on these allegations, the Supreme Court properly determined that the governing body, which has a separate and distinct identity from the rest of the Jehovah's Witnesses organizations, constitutes a jural entity that can be sued as an unincorporated association of New York. Additionally, contrary to the governing body's contention, the plaintiff was not required to allege that all members of the governing body authorized or ratified the allegedly negligent conduct, since the rule stated in Martin v. Curran does not apply to causes of action sounding in negligence against an unincorporated association. Further, contrary to the governing body's contention, whether the plaintiff failed to comply with the requirements of General Associations law by failing to allege the existence of a president or treasurer of the governing body is immaterial. Okay, so just like picking up the pieces, it seems to me like this, what we're reading here, is kind of like breaking apart why the governing body's defense didn't make sense. This looks like the Supreme Court properly denied dismissal of the complaint insofar as asserted against the governing body. So it seems like the governing body tried to get it tossed out. It didn't work. And this was decided in November of 2024. Check the subreddit. There's info there. That's true. Kind of hard to search the subreddit. You know, you search governing body, New York. Wait, RKJW1. Doe. Let's go to the XJW subreddit. I wonder if that brings up anything. Yeah, somebody did post about this. It looks like they're just copying and pasting the text. The case proceeds against the governing body with costs awarded to the plaintiff. It seems like it's ongoing, you know, and they basically just failed to stop this from happening. But we still don't know whether or not they're found guilty of anything. It'll be interesting to see that the governing body try and deny joint and several liability. Yeah, I guess we can talk about this. Like, the governing body are included because they make the child sexual abuse reporting policies. Like, they are the ones who have the ultimate authority to change the policies regarding CSA. So even though they've got all these different legal entities, including one that specifically manages their CSA case, like the service department, they were at least trying to get it dismissed against the GBs since they feel like they've been firewalled. I don't understand what you mean. You just see explained in an orange jumpsuit. Yeah. So basically, the governing body always denies that they have anything to do with this. If you've seen the Australian Royal Commission with Jeffrey Jackson, he'll say, well, you know, I work in translation. The CSA stuff, that's not my department. That's not my field, which doesn't make any sense. They're at the top. The entire organization is their field, and all these various departments have to listen to what they say. So it does make sense to include the governing body in the lawsuits, because realistically, the elders, local congregation elders, not the abusers, but just the ones who get the reports of abuse from the victim in the congregation, right? They're just following orders, to use that old excuse. But they are, like, they're in a cult. They're told that what they need to do is follow this shepherd the flock of God manual, God's manual that he made for the elders personally, and that manual tells them to call the legal department at Bethel, and they're just following what the legal department what Bethel says. And so, you know, if there is somebody at Bethel who's more directly responsible and who should be sued and imprisoned for all this stuff, well, that would be great. But, you know, they're all very sneaky about how they run things and how the hierarchy works, and they're not open about it when they're questioned in court in these deposition settings. So yeah, someone needs to send them the blue envelope video of the governing body does stuff. Have I seen that one? I wonder if there's a letter to the elders in the intro to the Shepherd the Flock of God. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, it should be pretty easy to show, to just demonstrate using JW Publications that the governing body are who Christ is using to lead his people today. Yeah, the GB will let the elders take the heat, right? So, like, the elders, it's set up that they take the fall for all the stuff legally. And that's another thing that we noticed when watching that documentary, Breath of Fire, on Kundalini Yoga, which I talked about in a recent video. That was another thing about how their office was set up, was that, like, all of the little sub branches were the ones who were legally liable, but the guy at the top was not. And that's just, yeah, it's a clever cult tactic. That would prove their involvement, yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's super interesting. I wanted to, before we get into this next bit of business, was there something on the website I wanted to talk about? I can't remember now. Okay, I do kind of want to... Oh, wait. No, yeah. They released a new study edition. Sorry, I just got a list real quick. I think I swatted it away. There's a new Watchtower. let's see what kind of cringe we can glean. Let's just do a little glance through real quick. And then somebody sent me this, I don't know, branched visit video, which we can watch. Dig for spiritual gems there. There was an effed up organizational accomplishments. Oh, yeah. Is that good? I kind of like those videos because they have that Krusty Krab training video vibe that I like. Choose for yourself whom you will serve. I'm interested in this thing to see, like, are they going to make it choose to serve Jehovah and his representatives, the governing body? I'm just always interested to see, like, are they going to sneak in, talk about, like, apostasy? Oh, yes. Okay. So this must be what I've seen pictures from on the XJW subreddit recently. I've seen this picture. This is Watchtower's interpretation of an apostate protest. So ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. This is what we look like, apparently. They're talking about us. My favorite is the yes blood sign. Like, we just want people to get blood transfusions willy-nilly for no reason. Yes, blood. You must inject yourself with blood. It's awesome. Like, I don't think anybody's really making the point that you should just be getting copious blood transfusions for no reason. Just that if you need one to live, you should do that instead of dying because you're pretty sure that the Bible would have forbid blood transfusions if it had been written during a time in which blood transfusions existed. Oh, and this, I'm guessing, is somebody giving up their dream of being a Broadway star to stand boringly in a Kingdom Hall and sing. Yeah, let's see this. When serving Jehovah is our main focus, we enjoy the most rewarding life possible. A reenactment of the choice Julia made to focus her life on serving Jehovah. Yes. All right. Let me get triggered and learn about Julia. This seems like a good one. Maybe I should go through this whole thing on a stream. All right, Julia. Tell me about this bullshit. Oh, wait. What's the latest XJW conspiracy theory? I want to hear that. I like to keep myself appraised of all the conspiracy theories that I definitely won't believe in, but, you know, I like to know about them. What do we learn from Julia's experience? See also pictures. If we make serving Jehovah our main focus, we can have a rewarding life now and in the future. I just did generic JW voice. Consider the experience of a sister named Julia. Before learning the truth, Julia sang in a church choir from the time she was a young girl. A professional opera singer recognized her talent and trained her. Julia soon gained a reputation as a prodigy and performed in prestigious music halls. While she was attending a famous music school, a classmate started talking to her about God and explained that God has a name, Jehovah. Before long, Julia began studying the Bible twice a week. Eventually, she decided to focus her life on serving Jehovah instead of on pursuing a music career. That decision wasn't easy. Many people told me I was wasting my gift, she says, accurately, but I wanted to use my life fully to serve Jehovah. How does she feel today about the choice she made more than 30 years ago? I have peace of mind, and I trust that Jehovah will fulfill all my heart's desires in the future. That's not necessarily a ringing endorsement. I am at peace with my decisions, and I have desires that are unfulfilled right now. So I trust that those desires will be fulfilled in the future. I don't know. What was that classmate doing there? Oh, that's a really good question. There's a bit of a problem with this story. Who's this other prodigious musician in, probably Juilliard? I mean, how many famous music schools are there? This just sounds like the same exact experience that was on that crusty old Young People Ask VHS tape from the 90s about that opera singer who is some amazing singer and could have been famous, but chose not to be famous, chose to be a Jehovah's Witness. I hate stories like this because, I think like a lot of people who leave the organization, I'm like, God damn it, I believed this stuff. I had dreams that I put off and talents that I didn't, work on, crafts I didn't work on my skills on because I just thought, well, those things will be fulfilled in the future. Jehovah will fulfill all my heart's desires in the future. And yet, you know, I had to leave Jehovah's Witnesses to fulfill my heart's desires, because it turns out that God doesn't exist. Not exactly super incisive commentary today. Like, yeah, guess what? Well, God doesn't exist, so meh. Completely unfounded and sounds bizarre. Oh, okay. They're going to allow blood because some Bethel guy told some guy on TikTok that the governing body will tell Jehovah's Witnesses to rip up blood cards and then hand right there. What the fuck? People are so stupid. They'll just have an idea for something, and then they'll just say that it's true, that it's really happening. And then they'll just spread it around, and people will believe it. People just believe stupid shit. I am, like, always amazed. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups that I don't really participate in, but I just join them, that, you know, are ex-Jehovah's Witness groups. And they'll be from people who clearly, like, are not on the XJW subreddit. Like, they only are checking in with this Facebook group every once in a while. And it's all just people who have no idea what's going on. Like, every day they'll be like, I heard they got rid of disfellowshipping. That's crazy. And there's just like 500 comments of like, yeah, I wonder what they're going to get rid of next. It's like, no, they didn't get rid of disfellowshipping. They just changed the name. And it's just like hundreds of people being totally wrong. I hate it. And just nobody providing any sources for anything. It's just somebody being like, I heard this. And somebody being like, that's crazy. I believe you. I believe that you did hear that. And now I'm going to get mad about that. Like, what? Are you fucking stupid? We were in a cult. Just double check things from now on. That's simple pacts you can make with yourself. Don't just believe stuff that you hear instantly. I don't know. We all do it, but it's okay when I do it, because my instincts are trustworthy. And it's other people who have a problem, not me. Okay, good. I think we covered that. Drawing close to one another is good for us. Who's on the other side of that argument? No, you shouldn't get close to people. Friends, bad. What must we remember about love? Never take for granted the beauty of our Christian unity. Weird. It's just very disorienting to see beards in these pictures. It's like, back in my day, this would have been like, oh, this is just some guy who goes to the memorial and the conventions, but he's not a real witness. Help the old folks clean out the gutters. And old folks can make a soup for the young people. So everyone's being useful. Old people, though decrepit and slow behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose. We are never alone, which is a threat as well as a promise. Oh boy, yeah, okay. Let's not get into this. It does seem like there's a lot of good culty material, though. This is creepy. This goes to the creepiness of just how much they talk about young brothers in their material lately. I mean, if you've seen my annual meeting Supercut, I would say that's the running theme. Is just how much they talk about how much they need young brothers. It's very creepy. In fact, before we jump into the leak video, wait, TikTok is back? Is that what people are saying? I just saw it on the internet. Someone just said it. Wait. Let me not do it on the tab that I'm sharing. Because what if it is back, but it's like the Chinese government in my face? Wow, what? It did. It just loaded. It totally did just load TikTok. So that's interesting. So now we can watch the stream numbers plummet. I mean, we know, you just know that Trump is going to come in and say that he saved TikTok. And that's like going to be his first great act as president. Like, I'm the man who saved TikTok. Meta bought it. Jesus. You see, that's how it was always going to go. I honestly had no idea. I had no idea how it was going to go. Okay, well, let's before we get into our leaked video that somebody sent me that might be boring and we really just don't know, I want to show off just a little bit, and maybe I can give some director's commentary. Actually, this is something that I really need to shout out now that I think about it. This edit that I released, you know, I didn't say this in the video itself, but it was really made possible by viewers like you. The awkward stream edit thing that I did, wait, what? What did I just say? The awkward silence supercut that I did. Not whatever I just said 5 seconds ago. I added in like little YouTube poop sentence splicing things to make the governing body say stupid things. And one time I basically did a stream where viewers helped me decide what dumb things David Splane was going to say. So like we just went through and watched this David Splane talk from the annual meeting and just kind of picked out like, oh, okay, he just said a funny word there. Can we make it sound like he's saying, he just said glory. Can we have it sound like he's talking about glory holes, that kind of thing. So that whole segment, if you haven't seen this, definitely watch the David Splane segment. Your jokes may have made it into the edit. But I did just want to briefly, while I get a little sip of water here, talk about how much we need brothers. Because I'm pretty sure...
And it reads this way.
Oh, wait, no, it's after this. Because...
You know, school counselor...
No, this is worth it, guys. I swear to God.
I myself need men and women for my ever-increasing load of and there is a particular need for young brothers. Why? We are gay for young brothers from 19 to 18 years of age.
Okay, it's after this. It's after this. Which, by the way, real quick, you can't. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is Stephen Lett. I mean, I'm just zooming in really, really far into this not great image, but that's Stephen Lett just kind of clapping his knee. All right, quick water break.
We need brothers, young brothers. The glory of young men is their God.
Our current and future needs require more young brothers.
We need young brothers to apply. As many of you young ones as possible, you young ones will respond. You personally, you have your company of young men just like Dude. And some of you,
especially you sisters, might have noticed that some of our comments were weighted more toward encouraging the young brothers to apply. And the reason for that
is because of the need that we have for these brothers.
There continues to be a need.
Is there a need? Absolutely. Young ones, especially you young ones in your teens, the governing body reports a deficit of nearly 1,900 loads of all day, every day. So all day of every day of your life, we need your effective immediately. Can you?
I felt bad about that edit. It's really gross and it's in poor taste, and I'm sorry I did it. To any Bethel brothers watching, you shouldn't have to put up with that kind of thing. Okay, very creepy. They really want you to know how much they need young brothers and how much they love young brothers and how much they need teenagers and how much they love teenagers. All right. I've thought about making an edit of just how creepy they are talking about like teenagers and children, but honestly, it made me feel creepy putting it together. And so I just kind of gave up. All right. To get into our next segment, sometimes we need to resort to 12-year-old boy humor. I know. That really is just... That's my sense of humor. Where's this thingy I downloaded? All right, so this is part one. Let's see what we got here.
What
Whoa!
a lovely group we have here. Yeah, very nice. Everybody settled down so well.
It's really quiet, huh?
Meeting ahead of us. To start with, we can sing a song. The song that's been selected is song number 78. And after the song, we'll ask Brother Emmanuel to open with prayer.
Damn, it's quite a fit.
It's Jehovah that qualifies us. Now, if you look at the study note, if you have your...
It must be some, like, culturally appropriate garb. Let's see. Whoa.
We have the ability and...
Sure. Truths that we love to teach. Should you end the conversation? And how to conduct Bible studies using the Enjoy Life Forever. And we'll conclude with the final talk, God Makes It Grow. We have a lot to discuss.
Can't wait to find out what it is.
I'm confident that you will come away from today feeling better equipped, more energized to accomplish your ministry. So we look forward to what's to come. So at this time, we'll give our attention to Brother Finos Paul, who will now begin the 6-part symposium.
Finos Paul.
Starting a conversation, interest in others.
Oh no, it's just about
it is a
ministry stuff
that can join the widest gap.
This will be good though, because we're going to learn how we can make friends and disciples. So, you know, we're skeptics over here. Is this stuff going to convince us? Can they bring us over to their side?
It's a bridge that can build the strongest connections. In fact, it's a bridge, all of us, you and I, we have the ability and resources to build. Well, that bridge is conversation. What can happen when two people converse, can't it? It can change lives. In fact, it can save lives. It can bridge the largest distances. It can form the strongest connections. And Jehovah has given all of us the ability needed and the resources needed to start and continue conversations.
Okay.
But sadly, human imperfection and the distractions of Satan's world, well, that brings a challenge. And that's why...
kids these days and their cell phones, they're so distracted. All right, I want to see this little video demonstration. Oh my god, are they about to do the fucking thing that I've complained about on this channel before? Because let me just make a bet. This looks like Jesus talking to the woman at the well. And the woman at the well thing, I don't know why they do this. It's because there's not that much example in the Bible. There's not many examples in the Bible of actual preaching like Jehovah's Witnesses say you're supposed to preach. So they just take this story in the Bible of there being a woman at a well and Jesus being like, hey, give me something to drink at the well. And then she's like, okay. And he's like, but you know what actually the best water is the water of life that my dad, God, is going to bring. And she's like, what? And he's like, oh, let me explain. And then he does. And then she goes off and tells everybody about the most amazing man at the well that she talked to. And it was, yes, this was informal witnessing. So that's what witnesses do is they're like, okay, so he was preaching, he was in his ministry assignment, and he happened to be at a well, and he took the opportunity to informal witness. So he observed the surroundings. Ah, look, a well! And I happen to be thirsty. I know what I'll say to casually start a conversation. You there, woman, give me something to drink. Like, they treat it as if this is a masterclass in informal witnessing preaching, when I don't think that's necessarily why this story is in the Bible. So that's my prediction as to what we're about to see. Hell yeah. Well.
Jesus, tired out as he was from the journey, was sitting at the well. It was
sitting near
the
the well.
Hour. A woman of Samaria came to draw water.
Give me a drink.
Give me a drink.
How is it that you, despite being a Jew, ask me for a drink? Even though I'm a Samaritan woman.
I love this because when you just read the account, it's not clear that Jesus is being polite. He just says, "Give me a drink." But Watchtower's like, but Jesus was nice, and so he wouldn't have said it rudely. But they also are too afraid to change any of the wording of their specific translation of the Bible. So they just have to find a way for this kind of dorky Canadian guy to say, like, give me a drink. Give me a drink. Give me a drink? Like, just try to do a bunch of line readings so that you can command a woman to give you a drink and have it not sound like an insulting command. So it's just him trying to say the words in a nice tone of voice. And her, too. Like, you could totally read that being like, well, who the hell do you think you are to talk to me, a Samaritan? You're a Jew, I'm a Samaritan. You're not supposed to talk to me. You know, this wasn't necessarily a pleasant meet cute with pleasant music, but it is to them. So that's how they present it.
If you had known of the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
For Jews have no dealings with Samaritans.
Yeah, that was worth it. That's what we needed. Clap, 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 clap.
Thank you for the video. Now here are...
Was that really better than just reading the Bible for 30 seconds? I mean, that was a lot of time and money and makeup and kind of props, maybe not a set, art. Just read it and, like, be an interesting speaker. It's almost like they don't care at all about the ministry school aspect anymore because they're just like, we're just going to put it in a video and make it interesting to you. Okay, we're not going to bother to try and make the information interesting just by talking about it in a public speech.
Questions for you. Why were Jesus' opening words an effective way to begin the conversation?
See, it's an effective introduction. Why were his words effective? Well, it's because he was thirsty and they were at a well, so it was a natural thing for him to say. If he would have said, "Give me a cup of coffee," well, that wouldn't have made any sense. Oh.
Sister.
Oh, there's question and answer. Oh no, you can't hear it at all.
It was effective because that woman had come there to draw water, and Jesus started the conversation on the very topic that was on her mind, that is water.
Very good, exactly. Thank you.
Very good, amazing. This is in India, apparently. It's like an English-speaking branch visit in India. This is amazing. You could really do a lot of awkward silent stuff with the full comments and stuff.
Children, so then you can...
Okay, I'm going to skip past the rest of this. Seems a little bit boring. Should we watch this demonstration?
Notice how she demonstrates personal interest.
I'll just be nice to them. I think we skip past their real names.
Rena, I love your garden. It's so green in here.
Whoops.
I can
Well,
even
I don't know.
feel the air is much fresher. This must be a lot of work to keep up with.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you commending me. And yes, it takes a lot of time and hard work, but I love doing this because my mom is allergic to dust, and I cannot afford her to fall sick.
Okay, you know what? It's so loving that you're caring for your mom like that. I'm sure she appreciates it. But how's she doing right now? Is there anything I could do to help? I'm free today after.
Well, thank you so much for asking. She is doing much better now.
Okay. That's really good to hear. Did you know, Rena, that there's a promise made for our future that one day the earth will be totally free from pollution?
I really wonder if that happens.
Yes, actually, it's a promise made from our loving God for our future.
Oh boy. This is so lame. Like, it's just kind of the same old shit, isn't it? Oh wow, we got another vest situation. If anybody knows what this is called, let me know. I'm sure there's a name for, like, what this is.
Starting a conversation, naturalness.
When it comes to my wife,
Whoa!
My wife, she loves ice cream. And she loves the convenience of having ice cream delivered to our house.
Uh-oh.
But you know, if that ice cream were ever delivered melted, well, she wouldn't want it. As much as she likes that ice cream, if it were not delivered, call her crazy, frozen, then she would not accept that delivery.
Why is this guy throwing his wife under the bus? My wife's ordering all this ice cream over DoorDash constantly, but she's so picky. She won't eat it if it's not frozen. Very weird. This guy's gonna be he's gonna be on the hot seat with the old ball and chain afterward. I'm trying to be a JW guy.
Well, think, friends, when it comes to starting conversations. See, could it be that our delivery
Maybe don't start conversations with your wife's ice cream addiction.
of God's word could actually have an effect on how people receive that message?
Wow.
In Proverbs 15:23.
Wow. So could it be that people aren't enjoying what you're saying because your verbal delivery is metaphorically melty in room temperature? Very, very good. Very good illustration.
The answer to that question is yes. There it says, a word spoken at the right time, how good it is. And so, yes, our delivery of God's word can impact
Special delivery. Ice cold Bible knowledge.
the good or for the bad.
Damn, Emma.
Comes in. Naturalness can help us to present Bible truths in a way
Naturalness.
that appeals to them.
And what could be more natural than what we're seeing here? This guy is very comfortable wearing this outfit, saying these words about his wife.
For example, Philip in Acts chapter 8.
Ah,
Now,
Philly.
Philip, he started a conversation by approaching an Ethiopian eunuch.
It's the same shit. This is the same thing my entire life. Woman at the well, Ethiopian eunuch. Oh god, what's another one? Well, there's the Israelite girl who preached about how amazing Jehovah was and that his prophet could heal that guy, that king guy. There's Moses having to preach with boldness to Pharaoh. A message that wouldn't necessarily be well received. What are other like generic ministry examples they use?
Now, as we take a look at the following video,
Ooh.
notice how he actually approached that eunuch.
Notice.
By way of an audience discussion.
Also, weirdly, Jehovah's Witnesses are like, and it's not eunuch the way you think. It didn't have anything to do with his balls. It was just the name of the kind of guy that he was. It was just a title.
What we can learn about naturalness.
I don't know where they get that from.
Like a sheep he was brought to the slaughter, and like a lamb that is silent before its shearer, so he does not open his mouth.
Excuse me. Do you actually...
I don't know. I don't know how well they're doing, guys, because this is... All the budget went to getting a live snake and a camel for the Jesus movie, I think, because they got this guy running on a treadmill just in a shadow box theater.
know what you're reading?
Really? How could I ever do so unless someone guided me?
Really?
So he urged Philip to get on and sit down with him.
I beg you, about whom does the prophet say this? About himself or about some other man?
Because in their eyes, people just read the Bible on little scrolls. You know, people just had their pocket scroll Bible that they carried around and read all the time. Just sort of like how people now have a phone where they can pull up the Bible.
That's an easy passage.
Philip began to speak.
It's an easy
And starting
passage.
with this scripture, he declared to him the good news about Jesus.
why is this good? Why did they make this? Why was this a good use of resources? It didn't communicate anything that you couldn't get by just reading it. It was just a literal visualization of the New World Translation. But I think in showing it visually, it kind of highlights how ridiculous it is and how it definitely wouldn't have been like this. Like, I think them portraying this stuff always kind of accidentally reveals the biblical account to be a little silly, or at the very least their interpretation of it. Like, whenever they start to have Bible characters do family worship night in a movie, I'm like, well, hang on a second. And just him sitting in a little wagon reading a scroll, just like, I don't think that's how it went down, man. I'm starting to think this story didn't actually happen, or it didn't happen like a JW Ministry example.
So a question to you in the audience.
No clapping?
Is different in each case. What can we learn about naturalness from Philip's approach?
Let's look, and it was very natural. Him jogging in place. Like, how could that possibly be the right video to show for something on being natural? The most unnaturally acted thing in an unnatural environment where instead of even having a green screen, it's just like, no, just kind of run in place. People can use their imaginations. We'll show like a painting before and after so that people know what it's supposed to be. And Jesus hated that. He hated it.
Let's have Brother Galliani, please.
Yeah, we see that Philip talked about something that the Ethiopian was thinking about. He was reading, do you actually know what you're reading? So it was a subject that was in common.
Yes, very good.
Oh, very good.
In the rear?
Again, you could totally interpret the wording of what he's saying as, like, do you have any idea what you're reading? Like, do you even understand what you're reading? They're presupposing a lot of nice intent. I think more people in the Bible were sarcastic than we think.
Like that. Being natural doesn't mean being overly cautious. Here was a man who's reading the Bible, so he talked about the Bible. And he asked a question about Jesus, so he talked about Jesus. We don't have to skirt an issue if there's no reason to.
Okay.
I hate this because that's just, it's nothing to do with that person. I just suddenly had a moment where I could recall every comment that I ever gave as a Jehovah's Witness and realize it's nothing. It's just word association. Sometimes you just have a thing you're trying to say and you'll just kind of retrofit it so it sort of fits the biblical analogy they're talking about. And yes, it will always amaze me how they all sound the same when they answer. Like, every time that I thought I was saying something original, it clearly wasn't. You're just doing like basic word association in your head, kind of trying to make it somewhat similar to modern day preaching, and all the comments kind of end up sounding the same and having the same value, which is basically nothing. I mean, if you're a witness, you've heard this biblical passage 10 million times and said the same thing about it 10 million times. So you're just trying to rephrase the same thing you've said a bunch in a new way. Just every couple of weeks, you're rephrasing your take on the Ethiopian eunuch.
Very good, thank you.
I think we got it. Let's see a little bit of this reenactment.
Now, in the following demonstration,
Notice.
take note of how a pioneer sister
Take note. It's still in the notice family.
allows the conversation to develop naturally. And then we'll, again, ask you in the audience some questions.
This will be good because this is this is how to demonstrate naturalness. So this is going to be really, really naturalistic. This is going to be like a mumblecore film.
Boy, is it hot. Thank you so much for letting me sit here. How's your day going?
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen you at the park before. Are you new here?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm from the US, but I've lived in India for a while now.
Oh, okay, the US. Well, I haven't been there personally, but I've heard it's a really nice place. I'm sure it's better than India, because life in India is so difficult these days.
Do you mind if I ask why you feel that way?
Just the basics, you know.
So natural.
Making ends meet, you know, you have to make enough money, then you have your family problems to deal with. Sometimes I just feel so overwhelmed.
That sounds really overwhelming. I'm sorry. But do you feel
I haven't seen you at the park before. Are you new? Weird. Oh, good catch from Lava Blue. Why is it all the American missionaries approaching the Indian householder? Well, because this is colonialism class.
Like going to a therapist or someone?
Well, that's a good option too. But actually, I was thinking.
Oh, you see how they're subtly reinforcing that therapy is okay now? That's a good option too. But no. But really, it's Jehovah's Witness stuff that you need.
Prayer really helps. Are you a person of prayer?
Prayer. Well, we are Hindus.
Are you a person of prayer?
In fact, we pray to many different gods.
Oh, wow. So
I play video games, but I'm not a person of video games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a reader, but I don't know if I'm a person of books. I don't know why person of prayer is a thing we would say as
that
witnesses.
shows your family's spiritually inclined. That's nice.
Yeah.
So then when you pray to your personal gods, do you feel like they're really listening and they answer your prayers?
Can I tell you something? I do think that this lady on the right is more natural than the other people. So I think she did a good job, and I can't stand to watch any more of that. Oh! This guy reminds me of one of my favorite weirdos we found who did the little "people are everywhere" speech. I made an edit of him, but it basically isn't edited because he just goes on a weird rant about, like, people are at the store, they're at the gas station. And this reminds me of that guy.
What are reasons to show kindness?
But he's British. He's got a British face, don't he?
At least 4 good reasons to show kindness.
You know, I have British teeth. Maybe that's why I'm able to do British accents so well.
Firstly, 1 Corinthians...
Person of THC gummies? Honestly, I might have to grab one of those.
Scriptures like these remind us that kindness is an important part of being a Christian. Secondly, kindness,
It's one of God's colors.
is a very effective way of drawing...
So unfortunately, the audio for the video is genuinely just this quiet. It's really quiet. I know I'm probably really loud. Let me see if it... No. It doesn't let me automatically raise or lower the volume of this. So unfortunately, and this guy's talk's a little even more quiet. The videos that they're playing are louder. So if it's too quiet, we can just skip forward to the little videos they watch.
As Brother Robert mentioned, it's been observed that many are first impressed and drawn to the truth because of the kindness of both the publisher and the congregation that they come into. Many don't remember what their first meeting is about.
Ooh, my bad. I'm a little behind on my emails. Is that your name in your email that you sent me? Because I'll try to follow up with it today. Notice how Jake is muted. I know, guys. I'm sorry. Was it a little easier to hear the guy? Please see my comment above. Damn it. Well, okay. I thought the same thing. He does have Hugh Grants. Huge Grant.
A famous quote states that people won't care what you know until they know that you care.
I think he might be right. I think he might be Australian.
Thirdly, we want to imitate our great teacher, Jesus Christ, and he regularly showed kindness. There's also a 4th reason why we should show kindness, but we'll get to that later. First, let's see a video of an example of Jesus' kindness when first meeting a blind man.
All right, here we go. A little video in kindness, eh? Very sensitive portrayal of a blind man. Oh no. See, that should have been his introduction all the time.
Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, so that he...
And this is so loud, holy shit. Rocky, that's a loud one, isn't it?
He was born blind.
Neither this man sin nor his parents. But it was so that the works of God might be made manifest in his case. As long as I am in the world, I am the world's light.
No, see, I don't like this story. I don't like this Bible story. I think it's so disgusting that Jesus spits on the fucking dirt and then spreads dirt and saliva paste on that guy's eyes. That that picture of his face is so funny. Oh yeah, JW Jesus is definitely always white. Whoa! Ah! I don't know about that. I don't know about the freeze frame turn to cartoon editing. It is very witchcrafty. This is something that I was really amazed by when, you know, as a witness. I would have obviously been way too afraid to look at a grimoire or some kind of a book of devilry and spells and potions, but I've looked at them since, and what's really crazy about books of witchcraft is that they're basically just cookbooks with just some weird ingredients, and you also realize just how much pagan witchcrafty stuff is in the Bible. Like, the Israelites existed alongside all of these very witchcrafty cultures, and a lot of the things that they did are kind of witchcrafty. Like, all of the things that Jesus does, especially in Mark, are very, like, medicine man, voodoo healing stuff. Like, it's a little weird. Like, there's casting lots in the Bible, too. Just pretty witchy. Christ. God, who is Christ?
So a question for the audience. Why might have Jesus' approach made...
And then you can't hear this motherfucker for shit.
Thanks. In the back, brother.
Alright, sister in the back. Perfect. Alright, that's enough of this guy. Let's see a little bit of a demonstration. I'm enjoying the demonstrations.
In starting a conversation by showing kindness.
Kindness.
Oh, this seat is free.
Oh, thank you so much.
Are you waiting for the doctor?
No, I'm actually waiting for the insurance to come through for my father's treatment, but it's taking so long. I've been here all day.
Oh, it's such a long day for you. You must be tired. Can I get you some tea?
Oh, thank you so much, but
Unfortunately, no closed caption option, because this is just like the raw video downloaded from JW Stream.
I just had tea actually, but what
The
can you
pink
do
is
to
wild. There's a lot of
care
pink.
for my father?
I'm sure he's really grateful to have your support.
Yeah, I hope so.
How's your father feeling today?
He's okay today, but he's been unwell for a long time.
Oh, it's really hard to watch people we love feeling unwell.
Yeah, I guess that's life.
Do you think that this is the kind of life that God wanted for us? Sickness, hospital visits?
I don't know, but I guess that's all.
This is so inappropriate to say to do to somebody. who's just in a waiting room of a hospital or a doctor's office, like, you are approaching them as if you are just a sincere person looking to make a connection, and then you cynically go into your, do you think that this is what God intended for us? Well, look here at Matthew chapter, and then you just go into your sales pitch. So they're trying to make it natural, or ways to make this seem natural, but it's all just about tricking somebody into thinking that you're a normal person for long enough to get to your sales pitch. Like, that's what it is. Uh-oh, my ring light might be dying.
And sometimes people say tests make us stronger, but you know, can I show you something that's really brought me a lot?
Okay, all right. So enough of that. Wow.
What's the connection between starting a conversation and humility?
They're getting quieter every time.
Why do we need to be humble when we're out in the ministry? Well, to find the answer, let's examine Paul's example. So the Apostle Paul wrote in Philippians 2:3, with humility considers others superior to you.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, let's see more of these weird...
Let's watch the video, and then we would like to hear your thoughts.
Shadow Box Theater. Black Box Theater, I think it's called.
You are permitted to speak in your own behalf.
You are permitted to speak. Hey, Paul, it's me. You can talk now.
Concerning all the things of which I am accused by the Jews, King Agrippa, I consider myself happy that it is before you I am to make my defense this day, especially because you are an expert on all the customs, as well as the controversies among the Jews. Therefore, I beg you.
What was communicated there? Just kind of adopt a, I don't know, kiss up tone of voice. Just be like, it's okay, you're the smartest and bestest king of all. King Agrippa Fox. Agrippa D's nice.
So,
you see what I mean? That's the difference in volume. All right, no. Now I just want to see the creepy.
Only refer to touch.
Yeah, I want to see the creepy videos. This is the good stuff, in my opinion.
How will this apostle, this zealous apostle, preach? Well, let's watch a video and see how Apostle Paul showed tact as he spoke with the Athenians.
So loud.
Men of Athens.
Hey, friends. Hey, buddies.
I see that in all things, you seem to be more given to the fear of the deities than others are. For instance, while passing along and carefully observing your objects of veneration, I found even an altar on which had been inscribed to an unknown God.
This is how this happens. Paul just saw a bunch of people hanging out talking, and it's just like, hey, everybody. And he just jumped into the monologue from, what, I don't know, the Book of Romans or something. I think, like, it kind of shrinks these Bible accounts, and I don't know, like, reading the Bible, I think it's important that you're able to use your imagination if you're a Christian, because you have to be able to fill in a lot of, like, logic gaps, and you have to be able to be like, well, maybe it didn't really happen like this, maybe it was more like this, just in your head. And I think just whenever they portray things like this, it's like, no, they really think that the Bible is just a documentary of exactly what was said, word for word, in those moments. And so, like, instead of creating something interesting that uses modern day language that might impact Jehovah's Witnesses in some way, they just have this guy rigidly read the shitty translation of the Bible, basically. He's not an actor, they're not actors, so they're all just playing dress up and reading the New World Translation at each other, and it's very awkward.
Therefore, what you are unknowingly worshiping.
Right, it's like, if you want to actually make the Bible come to life, you can't just read the biblical words because the Bible is written in a really stilted way. And so in order to really make it relevant and come to life, you have to take artistic liberties. But the people who probably most need to do that are people who are too, like, superstitious about changing the Bible and to take artistic liberties. So, like, they're not going to do that, because then it wouldn't be true to the Word of God and wouldn't be dignified. So instead, they just have shitty acting and shitty dialogue in their shitty movies because they can't be bothered to write anything good, because they want to marry the New World Translation.
This I am declaring to you.
These were clearly produced just to serve this one tiny role in one talk, you know? Like, it's getting across such a minor points.
Speaking to a man named Zacchaeus.
Yeah, this is true from Apostate Ministry School, because, like, witnesses will do what I just talked about and just kind of do word-for-word recreations of the Bible, but then they'll also just do entirely invented stories that take place during the first century or during the Jewish exile, and they'll just invent characters and invent situations and just kind of give them the stilted speaking cadence of the New World Translation, but, you know, it's not actually stuff from the Bible. So yeah, it's either complete invention or they're totally married to the text. It's really weird. Because everybody sounds like Jacob Rumpf now in the organization.
Zacchaeus was there. He was a chief tax collector, and he was rich. He was trying to see who this Jesus was, but he could not see because of the crowd, since he was short.
He could not see? Because he was short? Oh.
So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree in order to see him.
This short motherfucker's climbing a tree. Who does he think he is?
Zacchaeus,
You're a short king.
now, for today I must stay in your house.
What? Jesus. What a wise, remarkable man.
With that, he hurried down and joyfully welcomed him as a guest.
That sucks. That's a shitty story. One time, Jesus saw a short guy in a tree and was like, hey, I'm going to eat at your house tonight. And then the short guy was like, yay! It's not a good story. Bible overrated, you know? I hate to have such hot takes, but to be fair, I did intend to play my hot take Jake.
This is Hot Take Jake.
I made that and just always forget to play it. The trees. In a way, this was also an update on the trees. Those glasses kind of rule, actually. Alright, more Black Box Theater and cartoons. Keanu Jesus.
Entering the synagogue,
Keanu G's!
for 3 months he spoke with boldness, giving talks and reasoning persuasively about the kingdom of God. But when some stubbornly refused to believe, speaking injuriously about
Stubbornly refused to believe. Like, that's not how believing things work. You have to be convinced. You have to be convinced in order to believe stuff. But like, that's not how witnesses, or I guess most cults operate. It's like, we just presented the truth to you. And if you're not convinced of that, then that just means you're crazy or evil. And you are stubbornly and injuriously, with great malice aforethought, not believing the things we're saying.
The way before the crowd.
Sent in the bears.
He withdrew from them. Giving talks daily in the school auditorium of Tyrannus. This went on for 2 years.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. Giving talks in the school auditorium. Well, that's like entirely JW language. And obviously very different from what Paul did. You know, Paul was like the guy in, what is it, Winterfell? Is that the town in Skyrim where there's just like a religious zealot screaming in the town square all the time? Like, that's what Paul did. He was just a religious zealot who would go and preach at people. He was just a crazy person. And, you know, from the perspective of those around him who didn't believe what he was saying, but he didn't work like a Jehovah's Witness with like little territory maps where they said a little prayer and went to Starbucks for half an hour after preaching for 20 minutes. Like, he didn't give talks that were assigned by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society where he like looked up fucking the Kingdom Ministry School articles associated with the text. Like, but that's what they want to conjure in the minds of Jehovah's Witnesses. Winterfell is Game of Thrones. That's so weird because I've never even seen Winter Thrones. What's it called? Game of Thrones.
So that all those living...
Paul should have debated in the marketplace of ideas.
Both Jews and Greeks.
Yay! I actually need to hear what we learned from that. What did we learn from this one?
Now, a question for you pioneers. How did Paul manifest perseverance in teaching interested ones in Ephesus?
Well, one time somebody didn't believe him. So Paul just left and went somewhere else where they did. Very powerful Bible lesson that we can learn today. Oh, wait, this looks like a really sad soliloquy that we should look at. Soliloquies are depressing. It's like a monologue. The script provided by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, so it's written like a alien vacuum salesman from the 1950s.
Let's give our attention to our sister pioneer as she considers
Sister Pioneer is her name.
that we've just talked about.
Wow, I really need to make sure I get back to visit Disha. She had such great questions. Oh, but she lives so far away, and she's really busy, work and school. This young woman works so hard. I guess I should work hard to see her again, too. In fact, I remember that point in the Love People brochure under Perseverance. It says, adapt to their schedule and make an appointment. Yeah, and she did say come back the same time next week.
This is how you should be thinking as a witness. Ah, yes, and I do remember in the God's Love book, paragraph 93, that we should be doing this. And yes, now that I think about it, I did do this. All right, very good. Like, you should also be thinking like a creepy Watchtower robot all the time.
So as long as she's agreed to the appointment, I should keep the appointment and stick to it too. I think then she's going to see that I really value her time. But even though we have this appointment, when I get there, she may not have time. So I'm going to prepare something really brief to share with her. And then too, when I'm commuting on the metro to her place, I'm sure I can make conversations with others. And even though she's far away, I think she's going to appreciate my efforts, and in time, I think she will become a good disciple.
So even like on the metro to your Bible study, you should also be thinking of ways you can try and talk to other people on the, is the metro a bus or a train? Probably a train. I guess I don't know, but you should just be thinking about ways that you can insert yourself in other people's lives. Like, it's not enough that you, a Jehovah's Witness, have a Bible study that you're going to. What about the time that you're spending on your way to the Bible study? Couldn't you be using that time in the underground train, people are saying, to also convert people? It's a lot. It has to take up 100% of your time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
This is
100%, Karen
to
Booth.
love people.
Thank you, Laura. Question to the pioneer.
So that was Laura Pioneer. All right, I want to watch one of our favorite videos that I've been loving so much. Patience.
Jesus.
His brother said to him,
"Leave here and go into Judea, so that your disciples may also see the works you're doing. For no one does anything in secret when he seeks to be known publicly."
Hang on, this
If you are doing
guy...
these things-
This guy kind of looks like Nick Bargatze, that stand-up comedian.
Show yourself to the world.
his brothers were, in fact, not exercising faith in him. Among the first things I handed on to you was what I also received.
I like this dramatic turnaround zoom. It kind of reminds me of the introductory scene to Fellowship of the Ring, where some of the characters are also in just kind of black backdrops doing action poses. Keanu Jesus is very sad. I also just love the phrase Jehovah Maxing. Lava Blue said, "I couldn't handle always feeling that I had to be Jehovah Maxing at every moment." It was so stressful.
His brothers were, in fact, not exercising faith in him. Among the first things I handed on to you was what I also received: that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures, and that he was buried.
If you are doing these things, show yourself to the world.
Yes, that he was raised up on the third.
It's so funny to have that long of a pause, and then just for the first one to be, yes. Like, why are you saying that? We forgot the thing you said before that you're saying yes to.
And that he was buried.
If you are doing these things, show yourself to the world.
Echo, echo, echo. What is this? What is he doing here with his little chisel, by the way? A little notch here?
Yes, that he was raised up on the third day. After that, he appeared to James.
Table for homina. And they hugged, eh? That's how corporeal he was. Even though they say, Watchtower says that Jesus didn't actually come back in the flesh. These transitions are very funny. I like them a lot. There actually might be another one. There might be one more. Yeah! Oh, hell yeah. I love... That last one was really hard to figure out what the point of that was. How is that Jesus being patient? I didn't really get that. This is empathy. Jesus has been empathy maxing for sure. Uh-oh. Imagine there's a fire there. We don't have a fire budget. Where are the handholds?
The apostles gathered around Jesus. and reported to him all the things they had done and taught.
But Jesus, I did this, and I taught this. I think that's what they should sound like.
Come you yourselves privately into an isolated place and rest up a little.
For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure time even to eat a meal. But people saw them going.
Like, what is this situation here where they can afford this complicated old-timey boat, but not a background for the boat? Like, don't they have some kind of crazy Mandalorian-esque volume that they use to film stuff in now?
And many got to know it. And from all the cities, they ran together on foot and got there ahead of them.
Lots of brooding looks. It's me, Jesus Christ. Hey guys, what's up? What just happened?
And he was moved with pity for them, because they were as sheep without a shepherd.
Aww.
And he started to teach them many things.
This is making me not like Jesus. Hey guys, film a homoerotic boat scene where nobody talks. Boy, that was something. That was something. And there's a whole other half of this special meeting, whatever this was. So maybe we can watch those next week. Those are really weird. Well, gang, this was fun. We had a good time. Good stream, long stream. We went over all the things. Check out the merch. If you missed it, I'm wearing an Alt-Worldly shirt right now. Inverted logo colors. Got little doodle designs on there. I've got a video that should be coming out tomorrow. So many videos coming. Interviews and little edits and normal videos and vlogs and really long, needlessly long videos about things nobody cares about. All kinds of things. Do consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member. I'm really excited to be making stuff this year. I'm really trying to take it seriously and look towards being able to, kind of finance doing creative stuff full time, not just with this, but with other things. So if you want to join me on that journey, Patreon or YouTube would be awesome, but mostly just like subscribe and comment and stuff and tell your friends about the channel. I am going to be doing a call-in show. Thank you for reminding me. We'll be doing, and I think we're going to call it the wake-up call because I had a user submit that as an idea. I was kind of requesting names for what we could call this thing. And so far, it's been a lot of people talking about their experiences waking up from being in a cult. So I think we might call it that. And so Thursday at, I think, 6 p.m. EST, we're going to go, and maybe even Apostate Barbie might be a guest host. She's somebody who I had asked to join me on a future ep. And they've been really fun so far. Thoughts on Severance Season 2 is I thought that the first episode was great, and I'm just so confused. I have so many questions, but I thought it was awesome. I wrote collab. I don't usually speak like Paul. But yeah, I really liked that call-in show that we've done a couple times. Definitely plan on doing that regularly throughout the year. Hopefully like a couple times a month. I don't want to wear it out, but I also don't want to not do it. I've really been enjoying it. I want to take it seriously. Yeah, I don't know. I've been working on a Twin Peaks video for my other channel, System Failure, and then David Lynch passed away just, was it yesterday or Friday? And so now the video has this kind of, I don't know, now it exists in the context of David Lynch has passed away, And I'm kind of trying to rework some of the video, but look forward to that, I guess, if you're into Twin Peaks or not. It's going to be it's a very verbose, wordy, long video. How do you feel about tomorrow? Shit, is it the inauguration? Is that tomorrow? It is the 20th, I suppose. Oh boy, man, I don't know. I've really just totally recalibrated my relationship to like news and stuff, of just trying not to be overly stimulated constantly. You know what I mean? Like trying to not keep up with every little news update, because realistically, you know, there's only so much that I as an individual can do. I want to be informed, but I also have to recognize that I think we're going to be in for a long fight against fascism, authoritarianism, oligarchy. Like, I think that it is, by its definition, self-imploding. It doesn't sustain. But for a while, things are going to be really shitty for a lot of people. And I know for me, I'm just focused on trying to be of use locally in our, you know, local community, and continue to try and like focus on my passions, like make art that brings me and other people joy. That's my goal. So I'm kind of just determined to not let it consume my every waking thought, like it definitely did when Trump was in office the first time. I was definitely just watching, listening to everything all day, every day. It was super, just, I don't know, couldn't look away from the train wreck. And now it's like, shit, man, when the whole country is a train wreck, and you now live in the wreckage of a train, and there's also some maybe dried hair gel on your part of your hair that you're noticing and trying to work out in the reflection. Yeah. I don't know. I've just been kind of not thinking about it too much, taking it one day at a time, and focused on doing stuff that brings me joy. You know, I really like making videos, and part of doing this other channel, System Failure, is doing videos about just art that I really like and that makes me happy. So, like Lost, and I've got a video on there about Across the Spider-Verse that's doing well, and this next video is on Twin Peaks. Like, I've just been trying to write a lot about art that brings me joy in some way, and like trying to tackle it from some angle. And when I think back on all of the really tough times in my life, the thing that gets me through it is just like laughing and having good friends. Like, I had a lot of health issues and stuff as a kid, but laughed a lot. Just definitely like developed my sense of humor around that time. Spent a lot of time with friends and family, just making each other laugh, watching comedies, stuff like that. And I have really felt that now. Like, I was really in a nonfiction reading mode after leaving The Witnesses, because I think I was channeling a lot of my desire to do research into XJW stuff into just like, okay, I want to just be more broadly knowledgeable about history and science and stuff. And now I'm just kind of like back into fiction mode, you know? Like, I had never read Kurt Vonnegut before, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to read Slaughterhouse-Five. And I did. I read it in like a day. It was amazing. Now I'm reading another Kurt Vonnegut thing. Just like, as much as I want to be informed and knowledgeable, I also want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself so that I can take care of others, and life has to go on. Life has to continue. So I don't plan on this being like the anti-Trump channel, but I also do hope that it is a place of refuge from insanity. And the assumption going in is that this is a place that's accepting of people no matter what their race or gender or sexuality is. And you know, we stand a short king. I said we stand and realized I don't know what I fucking stand. I don't stand for anything anymore. I don't know. But let's watch a funny thing at the end here. What do we have that's good? What do we have that's good? I think... Here, I'll talk... I know what we'll do. We're going to look at a TikTok that I rendered but never uploaded because I forgot that TikTok was going to be eradicated. Or no, maybe I haven't actually... Did I not render that? I was trying to, like, you know, chop up the big supercut into TikToks and YouTube Shorts. Let's see here. Severance edit. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's watch Stephen Lett talk about apples. And I'll see you all probably tomorrow or Tuesday with another video. Let's call it Tuesday. Bye.
Apples. Well, Jehovah has implanted in the hearts of humans the desire, the strong craving for delicious apples. Now think about it. Studies show there are 2 varieties of apples grown in the earth. If you sample 1 apple every day, it would take you 2 days.
Just to sample the varieties that are grown in the earth today, not speaking of new ones that may be developed. And you could go 20 years later back and eat that first one you sampled. It'd be like a brand new variety, wouldn't it?